What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. This is your Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 12, episode 18 recap. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let the diva know you stopped by. I done been through 2 videos, y'all, and this coffee is still hot. I love it. Oh my God. It's so good. So good. They start off, girl. Kenya tells Candy, you and Nene need to talk. And she was like, it wasn't the right time. Kenya says, I don't have time for Nene's BS. We have a love-hate relationship, heavy on the hate. They go to this restaurant where they up high, right? And on their way there, Candy says she's staying in, or is she going to stay in touch with her surrogate? And she's like, I might hire her to manage something. She's really good at business and blah, blah, blah. And then they show a clip, like an old clip. I like how they're doing these clips of things that happened, but they're not really going to be a scene. So they kind of use them as flashbacks so you can have some context. I really appreciate that, Bravo. Thank you. Portia asks, is that Candy's cousin? Girl. What? So then they on the way, and Cynthia says, somebody asked, does Mike want kids? I don't think that Mike wants kids with a 52-year-old woman. Why would you ask that question? Why would you ask that question? Cynthia is so silly and so stupid. She was like, girl, girl, yes, my periods haven't been regular or some shit she was saying. And it was like, somebody's like, you think you might be pregnant? And she was like, why am I glowing? I said, Cynthia's ass is crazy. Cynthia's ass is crazy. And let me tell y'all something. Cynthia be joking and she be looking fucking serious. I think that's why people think that Cynthia is goofy. She's silly. She has the ability to be silly, but then play it off like she's really serious. You know what I'm saying? Cynthia knows good and goddamn well she cannot be trying to get pregnant at 52 years old with a daughter in college. Child, please, you'll be a damn fool. Do you hear me? But I think with that, you can understand her and Kenya's relationship and how they go back and forth, because it might look like Cynthia don't know what the fuck is going on, but she knows her friend's personality and the way that she acts like goofy, and like they both are goofy, right? Kenya and Cynthia are goofy as hell, but Cynthia, like she said, when it's coming from my friend, I'm like, whatever, girl, the shade is whatever. I know you're not being malicious about it, right? It's just you being shady. That's if you because Cynthia is silly like that. Cynthia said, why? Because am I glowing? I said, come on, bitch. You know, goddamn. And then Nene was like, what is Cynthia gonna do? Where's the egg? Cynthia ain't getting pregnant. That was so funny. And that's a part of her personality. I think people miss that with Cynthia. I don't know. Because she does goofy things. Like she's very goofy. Anyways, so they go up in the air in this restaurant that is attached to a cable child, and they up in the air. It's cute. I would do it. I think it's very cute. This is when the first wine comment comes from Kenya to Cynthia, and they ask Cynthia, how's the wine? And Cynthia's like, it's fruity, it has a fruity effervescence. And even when she said, even Tanya was like, oh, okay, girl, like, okay. And they were talking about how you pair the wine. And then Portia's trying to give Cynthia some pointers or tips, and everybody is taking note that Kenya is trying to put a spotlight on Cynthia's lack of knowledge when it comes to wine, right? And so they think it's her being shady. Now, here's my thing. If you've ever sat around with people who drink wine, who really drink wine, that's all they fucking talk about is pairings and shit and what tastes good with what, and have you tried this with this, and try this kind of this with this kind with this food or this meat or whatever. That's what they talk about. Like, but the fact that everybody's projecting that saying that Kenya doesn't, or Kenya's being mean or shady to Cynthia, you guys are just making it known that you talk about Cynthia not knowing wine. Not knowing wine. Y'all are showing everybody how you feel about Cynthia's wine cellar and putting it on Kenya because Kenya is asking questions about pairings and is being a little funny about it. Like I said on Twitter last night, Cynthia is a wine retailer. She sells wine. She is not a sommelier. She's not a master. Okay? She sells wine. That's like you going to fucking Trader Joe's and standing in the wine area and expecting this guy to know every single thing about how to pair what with what. He may have some knowledge, but he's not an expert. Okay? That's the same thing with Cynthia. She's a retailer. She sells wine. Now, would it behoove her to understand pairings and stuff because this is the environment that you're in? Yes. But understanding that people who drink wine all the time, talk about wine all the time. And they talk about pairings all the time. All the time. Like, all the time. So I mean, like, of course, it's like a problem when Kenya says it. But then Kenya says, if I want any advice about Hennessy or hookahs, I'll ask Portia. Bitch, did y'all catch that? Name 4 types of red wine. And any regular person can name 4 types of red wine. It's not a big deal. But everybody is making it seem like Kenya was being shady to Cynthia. Nene called Cynthia a punk. They're egging it on like, oh, girl, what? Oh my God. Like, oh, she's really coming for you, girl. You've been read and all this other shit. No, she was not reading her. Y'all really want it to be a problem between these two. And they letting y'all know, this is my sister. I forgive her as soon as she apologizes to me, which gives Nene a fucking aneurysm. She can't take it. And they letting you know y'all don't get our relationship. Now because y'all say we don't confront her in front of everybody, now I'm confronting her. She's apologizing. She's not being resistant. And we hug and y'all still have a problem with it. Child. They go shopping. I don't know who was doing what, but I hear Kenya say, act like y'all been somewhere. Y'all not supposed to be down there in them people staying. But they showed a picture of Portia, but we don't know the audio and the video. I don't know who was saying what. I don't know if it was Kenya saying something to Portia, but all I know is that Portia was down in some ruin with her hands up, excited to be there. And Kenya was like, act like you've been somewhere. So I don't know if that was together or whatever. So they said they're going to have I need to charge my phone. They said they're going to go and do some traditional Greek things, right? So they go and they are breaking plates. Hold on. I got to charge this phone, child, because I've been on here for a long time. So they start breaking plates. And look at the windows. And in Greek tradition, it's a good tidings to break plates. They breaking plates, talking about happiness, and Kenya says her love of her life, Brooklyn. Portia says she's passionate about motherhood. I was like, y'all sound so fucking stupid. Y'all sound stupid as hell. Sorry. Nene says she's passionate about happiness. She throws her plate on the floor, bitch. It didn't break. I was like, uh-oh. Okay, girl. Kenya says breaking the plates is a release for her, and she loves it, with all the shit going on with her and Mark. So Kenya is looking for Cynthia. Now, I don't know if y'all caught it, but Kenya decided to have the girls' trip in Greece specifically for Cynthia, right? I don't know why they didn't go to Italy, but have they been to Italy? I don't know. But what's her name? Kenya made a comment saying that's the reason why we're in Greece, because I want her to come and do the wines and stuff like that for her business. So that was part of the reason why they went to Greece. She's looking for Cynthia. She's calling Cynthia, trying to get her to look at these wines and stuff like that. Portia and Tanya go and buy a little evil eye pennant or bracelet or something like that, and they start talking about how Kenya was being shady to Cynthia at the restaurant. The producer asks Kenya, you went so hard about the Kenya Moore hair care thing. Why are you saying shit about Cynthia's business? And she was like, girl, it's not the same. Kenya couldn't explain herself, but she was like, girl, it's not the same. I don't even know what y'all trying to do. But she really could not explain. She couldn't really justify that, because if you are going to say, hey, if you are going to take that angle, like, oh, you're being shady, you're trying to spotlight that Cynthia doesn't know about wine, that's shady. And Kenya couldn't explain it. She couldn't explain. She was like, whatever, don't make it about that. It's not about that. If you guys are going to be asking these questions, I'm just going to get up and walk away. So she was not happy with them asking her that question. And don't even make it into that. That's what she said. Tanya and Portia are being messy. They give the bracelet to Cynthia. Cynthia's like, yeah, I kind of felt she was being shady, but she kept going. She was like, Portia was like, I just want to make sure that, you had this kind of relationship with Nene, and we just want to make sure you're not getting in this similar type of relationship with Kenya, like a toxic relationship. And you saw the way Cynthia was like, oh my God, this is so nice. No one has ever done anything like this for me before. I was like, Cynthia, shut up. What? That's what I'm like. I think, to me, Cynthia be acting dumb. She's not dumb. Like, I don't know. Because I'm like, she was really being fake with that bracelet. She was like, oh my God, thank you guys so much. No one's ever done anything like that to me. And then she's like, in the interview, I'm gonna wear my evil eye bracelet, Kenya. And it's like, she's joking. She's literally joking. Anyways. So they are on a bus going somewhere, and they start talking about, again, Cynthia says, Marlo, we was on the beach and we saw this older man, and he might be interested, thought you might be interested. And shade. Now that bitch was shady, and everybody knows it. And then she's like, no, I'm wealthy, it doesn't matter. And then even Portia was like, girl, don't even play Marlo. And that's why I asked on Twitter, do y'all really think Marlo is really an escort? Because remember the guy that Nene was with, the white dude, was he Italian? And remember that Marlo got money out of him too. Like she kind of pulled a stunt on that same dude. And I guess, I don't know, maybe Nene was like, girl, whatever, do whatever. I'm not really fucking with him. Whatever money you can get out of the nigga, get the money. Like that's what I feel went on with that man. But Marlo was like, it don't matter to me. And then they were like, okay, so what do you want out of a man who can't do nothing for you? Here comes Candy's big mouth. I was like, Candy, shut up. She was like, did Paul have $1 million when you met him? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, but see, Todd didn't. We know, girl. We know he didn't. So Candy basically says that Todd is really smart. He's a really smart person. He just needed somebody to finance his dreams. That's basically what it came out to her. Even Portia was like, come on, Lemonade. Because remember when Mama Joy said that she was mad at Phaedra for introducing Todd to Candy and saying that she really made lemonades out of lemons because Todd is a lemon, and she really made. And I guess Candy saw potential in Todd, and he just figured he needed a bankroll. And you get a man in the process, girl. You get a smart man. You got the money. Now we make millions together. I was like, okay, girl. Then Nene shades Tanya by saying, Paul has it good. That's probably why they've been engaged for 8 years and he ain't married her, because apparently Tanya gives a good blowjob. They've been engaged for 8 years. He got it good. He gets the good blowjobs. He gets the this. He gets the that. He ain't got to get married because Nene is a woman. She has said before that marriage is an accomplishment. They go do the wine tasting. They're going to do wine tasting. And then Marlo says, I think you should have a picture of me on your wine. And then Cynthia goes, and you're on my high-end wine probably. And then Kenya goes, no, on your low-end wine. I said, come on, bitch. They was really shading each other. Kenya buys Cynthia some wine. And I guess, I don't know, but it seemed like she was trying to make up for like being shady, right? Because she was like, I'm gonna buy some wine for my friend. And then Cynthia was like, who am I? Am I your friend? And she was like, yeah. She was like, you know. And then Candy mentions that, you know, I'm glad that you bought Cynthia some wine. And she was like, yeah, I want to see her win. I don't, you know, that's all she said. And she was like kind of laughing. So Portia and Nene, they go and they talk. And they start showing the text. I didn't realize all them texts that Nene and Portia had going back and forth. She called her girl, you can't talk about nobody with them granddaddy legs. Did y'all see those text messages? Oh my God, I was in my living room screaming. But Portia is learning from her therapy. She was like, I'm not going to be able to forgive you. I care about you so much that I'm not going to forgive you until you understand what you did to me. Until you have an understanding of what you did to me, I can't forgive you. And because I care about you so much. So she's like, and then when you acted like you didn't care about me, I let it go. I let everything go. I figured we were just going to keep it surface and this and that. They have a really good, healthy exchange saying what they want, and we're friends, and this is what I expect you to treat me with respect, and I hope that you expect me to treat you with respect. Back and forth. It was very good. Nene apologized. They cried. Eyelashes came off and all that other stuff. I'm sorry. I miss you. Portia hugs Nene. It's been so hard without you, girl. And even what's her name was on their after show. Candy was like, girl. And the Academy Award goes to, because we got the text messages. We have the receipts of her talking about Nene, but we'll never share them, is what Candy and Kenya said. So they go back, they're eating dinner. Tanya and Portia was like, they're so happy. We getting along. Everybody seems to be getting along. There's cats everywhere. I read that in Greece, they don't get rid of it. It's like they don't care about the spay, the neuter the cats, or spay and neutering the cats. They don't care about stuff like that. So the cats, have sex and they fuck, and there's cats everywhere. They really don't care about stuff like that. They don't have the same type of regulations as we do. We can't have a bunch of dogs and shit and cats running around. People who don't like cats, probably, I would find it weird to be just random cats just all around. I think it's kind of weird. It looks kind of weird. But you're in a different country. That's what it is. So Eva calls. They said they're going to induce her labor. Portia comes back, and she wants Nene and Kenya to talk it out, and they're going to put the thing in the ruins. It was a cute little idea, and they felt like Kenya didn't like that Portia took over. If anyone didn't like that Portia took over, it was Candy, not Kenya. Understand me, okay? And if you see, Kenya never said a word. She didn't say one word, but Nene and Marlo on the side talking about, oh, Kenya really hate that. She really mad about that. And the only person that said something was Candy. When they all sat down, since you taking over our thing, Kenya didn't say a word. So how it got put on Kenya, I don't know, but she didn't say a word. It was really Candy. But Candy is more of that personality to where, like, you taking over something, you feel like you're taking over something, I'm gonna say something. But they said it in a joking manner. Everybody's getting along. They sitting down, and they were like, we want to have positivity. Candy immediately tells Portia, okay, well, tell us what you and Nene talked about. And they want to know the tea. And then she's like, well, it was a private conversation, and I understand where they're coming from. You guys want us to have this have this public conversation, but you and Nene go and have this private conversation. Like, the conversation between Kenya and Nene should be private, just between them two, because Nene, I don't know if Nene's I don't know what it is about Nene and why she really comes undone when it comes to Kenya. It's really weird. But Cynthia gets the crown and they give it to Nene, and give it to Kenya. She tells Kenya, I don't like the way you came at me about the wine. And she was like, no, the joke is never about you or never on you. You're never the joke. You're my sister. I support you. I'm sorry. This and that. They hug each other. Baby, Nene almost fainted. Do you hear me? She almost fainted when they hugged each other because she was like, well, I feel like if it was me, you would have gone harder. And then she was like, well, times have changed. That's what Kenya said. She was like, you ain't nothing but a big ass bully. Y'all, Nene started that. I really want y'all to get in the comments and tell me how that was Kenya's fault. Because in this situation, it was all Nene. Because if you notice, Kenya wasn't saying much. All the person that she really had like exchanges with was Cynthia, right? Cynthia brings it up. She apologizes. They hug. Now Nene wants to chime in. But remember how everybody was on Kenya when Cynthia and Nene were trying to have a conversation and Kenya came in talking to Nene? Why are you saying anything? I thought you did this is not even between you. Why are you saying anything about Kenya to Kenya? Why are you doing that? Then they start getting into it. She was like, you ain't nothing but a big ass bully. And she was like, do you want me to fight? Like, what do you think? I mean, you ain't gonna do nothing. What you gonna do? She was like, Nene, am I supposed to fight you? Like, what, bitch? What are you doing? Like, really, what are you doing? I'm gonna attribute some of the behavior to alcohol. I'm just gonna do that. So Cynthia gives the crown to Nene, and she's getting ready to say something to Nene, and Nene goes, I don't have nothing to say. And then Kenya's like, well, you really had a lot to say. When it comes to me, Cynthia's trying to talk to you. You don't want to have a conversation with Cynthia in public, but you want to keep bringing me into it. Like, girl, why do you keep bringing me into it? But times have changed. They both arguing back and forth. We don't even know what Cynthia was trying to tell Nene, because Nene just turned back around and started getting, her and Kenya started going at it. They kept saying that Nene brought up the bipolar thing, but it was Kenya who said, oh, who is this Nene? Are we getting bipolar, Nene? Is that what's going on? Y'all gotta stop doing that. We're not doing that. It's not okay to try to insult somebody with mental illness. It's not cool when anybody does it. It's not cool. You shouldn't have done that. And she goes, no, you're bipolar, and that's why your husband left you. And then Kenya does her hand like, see, that's why I didn't want to talk to that bitch the other night. Because I know this is not, as soon as they get a chance, they're going to stab you in the back. That's what she said an episode ago. And as soon as Nene got the chance, here she is. Yes, I understand in a battle of words, but I mean, we all say all's fair in love and war, right? But I know that you're going to do that, so I know how to fight with you. I know how to make up with you. I'm not going to make up with you because I know you're going to use anything I tell you as ammunition when you get the chance. And that's what Nene did. Kenya tells her, you just mad because you got to grovel to everybody and grovel to your friends. And she was like, what did she say to her? That's why your husband left you. And then Nene in the interview talking about, honey, Mark is going to twirl his way out of your marriage, him and his nose ring. I said, oh, ooh, they really have a problem with Mark and his nose ring. Funny to me. So Kenya says, you know, that's the reason why I didn't say anything to her, because I know that's what it is. So Tanya and Kenya get to talking, and Tanya and Kenya apologize to each other. No, Kenya apologizes, you know, for the situation, and then she tells Tanya, I feel like you didn't apologize to me. And now Portia is on the side going like this, like it's not equal. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You guys put more value on the man than you do this woman's business, right? You think it's an unequal or an unfair comparison. It doesn't parallel. If Kenya thinks that what she did affects her business, and Tanya thinks what Kenya did is wrong, Both of them have the right to say that. One is not more than the other. One is not more. Just because it has to do with a man doesn't make it more important than this woman's business. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. And she's like, the things that are most important to us, our families, are this, and our businesses, girl. Like, and Kenya says, you didn't apologize to me. Whether your intent was to harm me or not, it did. So apologize for that. I don't know. Did Tanya apologize? I don't know. But Kenya, she had a point. You can't, and Portia's over there doing this. No, Portia, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You cannot say, because somebody could tell Portia, well, she called you a fat, hungry ass. That's not that big a deal. You was fat. You was pregnant. I mean, that doesn't compare. That's not how something makes you feel. Doesn't matter how small it is to the other person. If it's big to you, it's big to you. Period. Nene chimes in, a woman wouldn't do that. A woman wouldn't bring another woman around. And she says, girl, you've done so much shit. And then she says, your husband doesn't like you. And you're so tired and dry. That's what Kenya said to Nene. And then Nene comes back and says, that's why your pussy is dry. And that's why your husband left you. And I'm like, girl, that's the only thing you got? Your husband left you. Like, it's because that is so... She was like, no, I left him. I know, Kenya know, because he was going to make the announcement before you. Remember? So, no, you did not... He seemed like he left you. And, honey, that's a blessing. Don't feel bad for that. That's a fucking blessing. Huh? Y'all take him. Take his narcissistic ass. Take his ass. No big deal. What happened after that? That was it. They're gonna continue next week. Candy says it gets worser. It gets worser. Anyways, y'all, that's my time. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Y'all got 3 videos today. All right, peace.